Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on African Tech Gurus. This is your #1 channel where we actually learn technology and coding by actually learning how to do the code and understanding the concepts behind it. So today we are going to do the quiz for the pointers and arrays, and the first question that we have is the process of getting the value that is stored in the memory location pointed to by a pointer is called what? It is called dereferencing. That is dereferencing. That is the process where you get whatever value has been stored in the particular memory location that is now being pointed to by a pointer. It might sound complex, but don't worry, it will sink in as we continue. The very first one is pointing, and pointing is just the aspect of using the address of a particular data type to actually get to know what is located in that memory address. So that is pointing. It comes from the definition of what a pointer is. The next one, which is accessing. Accessing is mainly a term used when it comes to security, and this will mean or will be used in the context of allowing a particular user or a group of users the access or the privilege to actually use or access data in the manner in which they can access the data and what they can actually do with it. The last one, which is casting. Casting is simply the process of converting one data type into another data type. So that is very simple. So in this question, the answer is dereferencing. The other question that they have is what is the size of a pointer to an integer? So the size of a pointer is always standard. No matter what it is pointing to, the size of a pointer is always 8 bits. The other thing they have is what is the size of a pointer to a character? The pointer size will not change. What will change is the type of data pointed to the address. I hope you got that one. So what will change is the data that has been stored in that specific address that the pointer is pointing to. So a pointer will always have 8 bits no matter what type of value has been stored in the address that the pointer is pointing to. So the next question is how we can access the address of a variable called var of type int. So if you remember, we're going to use the and sign or the ampersand sign, which in this case, when in terms of pointers, it is the address of unary operator. So what is going to happen here is we want to get the address of var, a variable called var of type int. So we're going to use the and to actually get the address of var. So what we want to get is this variable called var, what is its address? And how we're going to do that is use ampersand and var. The next question that they have for us here is what is the value of n after the following code after it's been executed? So here we are initializing an integer called n to be 98, and the next thing is we are getting that address, the address of n, and storing it in a pointer called p. So at the end of the what we're doing is here they are storing 402 in the pointer, which is p. So what they're asking is what is the value of n after this has been executed. So remember that here they have not changed the value of n. As you can see, this doesn't change the value of n. It does not at all. But at the end of the day, what will happen here is p, which is the address, the pointer pointing to the address of n initially, which is 98, will now be converted and will point to 402. So n will not be touched in any way, so n will still retain its value of 98. The next thing is it possible to declare a pointer to a pointer? Yes, that is very possible, and that is a process or concept that is in dereferencing. The next question is if we declare the following variable, this is it. We are creating an array of 5 elements, and the elements will be integers. What is the equivalent of typing array 2? So the equivalent of this will be whatever the address of the array itself, and then add 2 spaces after that. I hope you got that one right, because here we want to get the second the third element, because we're going to start at 0 and then 1 and then 2. So our answer will be this one over here. The next question is, here we're declaring as variable. This is the variable we're declaring, and they're asking what is the size of the variable ARR, which here, as you can see, it's going to have 5 elements, and these elements will be integer. So remember that an integer will take 4 bytes of spaces, but in this case we have 5 integers. So at the end of the day, the size of the memory of the variable ARR will be the 5 elements times 4 memory locations, which are the 4 bytes that each integer is going to take up. So we'll have a total of 20 bytes. The next question that we have is, what happens when one tries to access an illegal memory location? So in short, what they're asking us here is what is going to happen when an operating system or a software attempts to access restricted memory. So that's what they're asking for when they say illegal memory. So what is going to happen is, the term for that is segmentation fault, because what happens during segmentation fault is an error that will occur, or a fault that will occur, when your program is trying to access memory that it cannot access. So that is that for that question. The other ones are not quite valid solutions, so the solution for this is segmentation fault. The next question that they're asking is, what is the value of n after the following code is executed? The value of n. So remember, here we are initializing an integer n to be 98, and then we are also initializing pointer p to contain the address of integer n. So at the end of the day, the value of n will not be changed, and it will still remain to be 98. Question 10 is, what is the value of n? Remember, the same thing is happening here. The only thing that is happening here is, after this is run, eventually the pointer will be incremented by whatever increment steps have been declared before. So this is a snippet of maybe a larger piece of code that can be used. So what remains as well here, n retains its value of 98. Now for the next question is, what is the identifier to print an address with printf? So that is %p, which is the identifier to print an address. So p is representing pointer, so this will be the address of, because a pointer will contain the address of a specific variable. Lastly, we have, what is the value of n after the following code has been executed? And what happens is, we initialize n to be 98, and we initialize pointer p to contain the address of integer n. And after that, what is happening is, we want the pointer p, we have the asterisk in this one, the other one did not have the asterisk. So what is happening here is, let 402 be placed in whatever address pointer p is pointing to. And remember, pointer p is pointing to where the variable n has been declared and initialized to 98. So now what it's saying is, instead of it having 98, let it have 402. So at the end of the day, after this code has been executed, the value of n will be 402. So that marks the end of the quiz for today. If you do have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. And also don't forget to subscribe, because it supports the channel and it also encourages us to do more of this. Thank you so much, and happy coding.